Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3.
Gol de Messi!
This is Pink Smoke, brought to you by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Inter Miami playing for an MLS Cup trophy for the first time in franchise history. Welcome on in, folks, to Pink Smoke, where we talk everything Lionel Messi, everything Inter Miami. And one of our final, could be our final Pink Smoke of the 2025 season. Lionel Messi in great form in those MLS playoffs. But would you believe me, folks? Would you believe me if I told you he hasn't even been the best player on this Inter Miami roster? And we're going to explain that coming up during Messi Mania, presented by our great friends at PNC. And when I say he hasn't been the best player, obviously through the whole season, Messi arguably has been the best player in the world, number one. Number two, he's going to win back-to-back MVPs within the MLS. But I'm talking about the MLS playoffs, and that's going to lead us right into a little Messi Mania, presented by our good friends at PNC.
It's time for a little Messi Mania on Pink Smoke, presented by PNC Bank. The latest match results, highlights, and everything Messi starts now. Brought to you by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. Learn more at PNC.com. PNC Bank, National Association member FDIC.
Putting one behind the keeper takes more than talent. Sure, the pros make it look easy, but there's a whole lot of boring work behind it. Hours of drills, scrimmages, and dedication to the craft that ultimately pay off in a brilliant goal-scoring move. PNC Bank knows that it's the same with money. That's why they take a smart, steady, and, boring approach. So you can make brilliant money moves that help you score your own goals. And PNC Bank makes it easy and convenient to manage your money when and where it works for you, including with new branch locations opening across Miami. See how keeping your money boring can be the brilliant move for you. Visit pnc.com/brilliantlyboring. PNC Bank, proud banking sponsor of Inter Miami CF radio broadcasts and Brilliantly Boring since 1865. The PNC Financial Services Group, Inc., all rights reserved, member FDIC.
Folks, Messi Mania, where we talk everything Lionel Messi and everything Inter Miami. And how can't we talk about that absolute domination in the Eastern Conference Finals? Inter Miami beating NYCFC 5-1 in Fort Lauderdale at beautiful Chase Stadium. And obviously with Inter Miami doing well enough on that MLS table throughout the regular season, they are actually going to be hosting the MLS Cup in Fort Lauderdale. 2:30 is going to be the site, or rather 2:30 is the time. Chase Stadium is going to be the site, and the Vancouver Whitecaps are going to be the team. We'll preview that one a little later on because I got to update you on what happened on that 5-1 beating that Inter Miami put on NYCFC. I mentioned Tadio Allende and how he's been the best player throughout the MLS playoffs for Inter Miami. Allende has 8 goals in 5 games. He had a hat trick against NYCFC in the Eastern Conference Final. Let's take a listen to the first goal in the first half.
A long ball forward. On the end of it, this is Allende, fights in the box, goal! Tadio Allende on a long ball, fought off the defender, got his right foot into it, and Inter Miami strikes first in the Eastern Conference Final. 13 minutes in, Allende with the goal, 1-0, Inter Miami over New York City.
Now, Allende wasn't done in the first half. That was Allende's first goal. That was the 14th minute mark. But coming up in the 23rd minute, Tadio Allende picked up his brace for 2-0.
Play resumes. Here's a feed into the area. Header! Oh, my goodness! From just outside the 6-yard box, it's a Tadio Allende masterpiece on a ball from Jordi Alba. That was all world. That was sensational. That was mind-blowing. And it's 2-0 Inter Miami out of nothing in the 22nd minute. Tadio Allende cannot be stopped. A titan of the postseason. 7 goals in the playoffs for Tadio Allende.
That's voice of the Inter Miami Herons, Ken Levica, my good buddy on the call. At this point in the 23rd minute, it is 2-0 in favor of our Inter Miami Herons. And Tadio Allende, up to that point, had 7 goals in 5 games. So Inter Miami off flying in the first 25 minutes of the game. However, NYCFC would find the back of the net. Before halftime in the 37th minute, it was a header goal by Justin Hack.
The whistle blows. Morales, a sweeping right-footed cross, and it's a goal. It's a header at the edge of the 6-yard box. Deposited right past Rocco Rios Novo, Justin Hack, and New York City pulls one back.
But NYCFC, as Ken said, they're pulling it back before half. You know, we had a game, right? You went into halftime 2-1. You're thinking, all right, Coach Javier Mascherano is going to have to make some adjustments here. Or what kind of substitutions are we going to see brought on for Inter Miami? Well, Coach Mascherano went out with the same lineup in that second half. A couple of players checked in throughout the second half. Ian Frey checking in the 57th minute. Yannick Bright checking in the 57th minute. But right out of the gate, Coach Mascherano going with the original 11. And then in the 67th minute, the young, agile Matteo Silvetti makes it 3-1 and assisted by Lionel Messi.
Plays it off to Messi, turns to his right foot, top of the area, now finds Silvetti, goal! From the right of the penalty spot! Matteo Silvetti blasted with a right foot past Breeze. It's an assist for Messi. It's a goal for Silvetti. That duo for a second straight match, and it's 3 for the South Florida side. Inter Miami 3, New York City 1. What build-up!
And Damian Perez is obviously our co-host and producer here at the City Place Studios. Pink Smoke, always here on ESPN 106.3, where we talk everything Lionel Messi and everything Inter Miami. Damian, it was big news in the Eastern Conference semifinal when Luis Suarez, who is fit and available and back off of suspension for the game, it was big news when he wasn't in the starting lineup and the young Matteo Silvetti was in the lineup. Well, Silvetti in that game had a goal and an assist, and in this game scored again. That's 2 goals from Silvetti in the 2 games that he has started. I've been really impressed with this young Argentinian, 19-year-old Argentinian Damian Perez.
Yeah, absolutely. And the timing of that transfer was impeccable. I mean, it was right before the Under-20 World Cup, where he actually had a great World Cup, scoring the game winner in the semifinals. So I believe his value has even skyrocketed since. Imagine if we would have bought him after that Club World Cup, we probably would have paid double.
Absolutely. And that's a good point, Dame, because Inter Miami got a boatload of cash for making it. Listen, boatload of cash for the MLS. How about that? They got a boatload of cash in terms of the MLS dollars after making it to the knockout round at the FIFA Club World Cup. And a lot of that money was spent, to Damian's credit, on a couple of pieces that are now really starting to pay off when we're focusing on an MLS Cup, a la Matteo Silvetti, Baltasar Rodriguez, 2 guys who are featured in the starting lineup for Inter Miami.
Rodrigo De Paul.
Game in and game out. Yeah, De Paul. I mean, geez, forgot the world-class defensive midfielder, Rodrigo De Paul. Now, Dame, before we get into the final goal here by Segovia, I think De Paul's kind of taken on new form since Silvetti and company have started to find their goal-scoring efforts. I think DePaul is focusing more on the defensive side than attacking.
Yeah.
When he originally came here, he was joining the attack a lot. He was in and around the box. It's really been messy, giving feeds into Rodriguez, Silvetti, and whoever the attacking players are. I like the new role that kind of Rodrigo De Paul has been playing as of late.
It's not just Rodrigo De Paul. The whole dynamic of that team has changed with these young players in. Now we're pressuring a lot higher. It used to be Suarez and Messi up there. You can't really ask much when it comes to high press and high-intensity press from players like Luis Suarez and Messi based on their age and based on how we want them to last basically the entire, not just the entire game, but the entire run in these playoffs. So to have players like Silvetti, like Baltasar Rodriguez, who are young, who can press high, has just absolutely changed the dynamic of this team when it comes to defending and also attacking, to your point.
And this is going to be even a younger team next year because starters in the 11 for Inter Miami, like Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets, are hanging up the boots at the end of the season. They're going to be playing their final game coming up this Saturday at Chase Stadium. Have that sit for a second, all right? No more Sergio Busquets, no more Jordi Alba. Folks, I've been watching those two. I've been watching Sergio Busquets since 2006, for God's sake.
To my opinion, I think they still got one more season in them, if I'm going to be greedy. Yeah. But I know it's not going to happen, but you watch the level Jordi Alba's playing, and it's absolutely incredible.
Isn't that crazy, though, Dame? Like, obviously, growing up, I still am to this day a United fan and whatever. I didn't necessarily like Barcelona, but, like, I mean, Busquets and Messi, I mean, these are guys I've been watching. Damien, I was a teenager, for God's sakes. 13 years old.
Yeah, we were watching them in Champions League.
14 years old. I mean, good golly. I really don't know world football without Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, and Lionel Messi. And obviously, Messi, folks, not going anywhere. He just signed a 3-year deal. You get what I'm saying? And this team will continue to get younger. I think that they're going to spend money on a left back. They're definitely going to fill the void of a number 5 for Sergio Busquets when he does retire.
They re-signed Yannick Bright, which is huge.
Yeah, and listen, he's great box to box. I still think it's different positions. Would you agree? Bright and Busquets?
Yeah.
He could play the Busquets role, but I think Inter Miami would probably need a more clinical passer at that midfield spot. Sergio's intricate because, number one, he makes the easy look so good.
Yeah, and he slows down the game when it needs to be slowed down, too.
Like, what did Pep say? Pep said something like he makes the easy moves, like a ball roll, a simple ball roll.
So
like
elegant.
There you go. And, like, I don't know. Obviously, he's one of a kind, folks. He's a unicorn. He's one of the better number 5s you'll ever see in the history of the game. But I think Inter Miami is going to get a passer and a defender, a similar player to Busquets. How do you replace it? It's impossible. I get all that. But especially if Inter Miami wins the MLS Cup, they're going to have some dollars.
But also something to be said with Yannick Bright, to have had this experience to kind of play behind Sergio Busquets. I mean, we see it in football all the time. Those quarterbacks that come in early who get to sit behind a legend like Aaron Rodgers, like Brett Favre, for example, if we're going way back. But Yannick Bright, I feel like, had that experience. He was able to soak in, learn, and now hopefully apply it next year.
I wonder if DePaul will get some play, too. I'm actually interested. But folks, the task at hand is this Saturday for Inter Miami to win their first MLS Cup in franchise history. We do have one more highlight. I mentioned the substitutions that Coach Mascherano made in the second half. I already mentioned Yannick Bright, Ian Frey. A guy I haven't brought up yet is Telesco Segovia. Segovia, who made things 4-1 and completely out of reach. He was unbelievable in the game. Or rather, in the 15 minutes that he did manage to play, he came on in the 72nd.
He's so reliable.
We've seen Segovia be able to have success, Damien, coming off of the bench and playing a lot of positions. He's been centralized in the attack. He's come off of the wing. This one specifically, he was coming off of the left side on that midfield spot. Let's take a listen to the Telesco Segovia goal in the 83rd minute.
Morales and Fernandez. Morales lobs it, left box, and Allende wipes that out. Messi chests the ball down, and look out, here they go! Segovia, 1v1, into the attacking half, right side of the pitch. Segovia has Alba in the middle channel. Segovia into the middle, back heel Alba! Oh, he delivered a beautiful ball to Segovia, and it's a worldie! Segovia slots it home! That was beautiful! That was magnificent! That was showtime! That was one for an art museum, hanging on the wall. 4-1, Inter Miami. Inter Miami is going to the MLS Cup Final next Saturday in South Florida. The party is on in Fort Lauderdale.
Ken was a poet on that on that call right there, but certainly great link-up play, as Ken beautifully described it there. Telesco Segovia able to slide that one in to make it 4-1. I almost thought we were done. Hang on. Tadio Allende scored a hat trick. 89th minute, Damien. 5-1 Inter Miami domination.
Yannick Bright. Oh, what a ball through to Allende. Allende right to the penalty area. Allende into the box. Allende, the chip and the goal. It's a hat trick. Tadio Allende. He's unstoppable. He's impenetrable. Tadio Allende can do no wrong. It's another goal for Allende. He puts a bow on an absolutely dominant MLS Cup playoff. And he receives adoration and adulation from the Inter Miami faithful. 5-1 Inter Miami.
Inter Miami has outscored opponents. And Dame, I want to make sure I have this correct. 9-1 in the Eastern Conference. It was 4-0 against FC Cincinnati.
And 4-0 against Nashville.
Nashville did manage to score in a couple of those. But Dame, so the last 3, you're telling me 8 public school kid, 13-1.
13-1. In the last 3, 4-0 against Nashville, 4-0 against Cincinnati, and 5-1 against NYCFC.
Public school kid. But no. Damien, that's incredible.
Yep.
I mean, outscoring, you have a plus 12 goal differential in your last 3 games.
I mean, it's all about timing. They're turning it on right when it needed to be turned on, and it's right, in essence, before the playoffs, and it carried over into the playoffs.
Now, let me ask you this. And by the way, folks, 5-1, your final score. Inter Miami winners in the Eastern Conference Finals over NYCFC. And keep in mind, NYCFC is the side that beat the Philadelphia Union. The Union were the Supporter Shield champs. And for those of you that have no idea what that is the best record in the MLS.
And we can even go one more further. NYCFC has every game they played and won in the playoffs this season has been away. They won 2 in Charlotte and 1 in Philadelphia, which was the Supporter Shield champion. So that's also a nod to Inter Miami. They played a team who's been comfortable playing away and who has gotten big results as an away team.
Now, for those of you that haven't looked at the fixture yet, it's Inter Miami versus Vancouver. And folks, I'm gonna put it lightly. This is a Vancouver side that Inter Miami has struggled with against this year.
I would say it's different
really
teams,
is.
though. That was a different team from when we met them in the Conca Champions.
I agree with you.
This is a completely different team than when we met them at the Conca Champions. It will be a tough opponent, but I think it's a huge advantage to play them here at the Chase Stadium.
You want to know who I like the most on that Vancouver team? Is probably the American.
Berhalter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sebastian Berhalter. And is he related to the former coach?
Yeah. He's his son.
I mean, listen, Berhalter scored a goal in the friendly against Uruguayo.
Yeah,
game.
I saw that. That was the first goal.
Uruguayo.
That was the first
Yeah.
goal. And honestly, I mean, I couldn't even hate. That was a beautiful goal.
Who do you root for in that fixture, by the way? By the way, for those of you that don't know, Damian Perez, for you guys, is Uruguayan, but Damian correctly told me it's Uruguayo.
That's the only time I will not root for USA. In every other instance, I'm rooting for USA, except for Uruguay. I just can't do it.
No, I'll hate on that. I hate on that.
I mean, I understand.
I hate on that.
But
Damien, you know how much I love Italian football. I'm rooting for the red, white, and blue, no matter what.
You can at least respect the fact that I'm honest.
Yeah, I do.
You
Actually, I do. I do. But it's still wrong. Is that all right? Is that okay?
Yeah,
That's still
totally
very
get it.
wrong.
Totally get it.
That still
but
is very, very
just-
wrong on so many levels, but it's okay.
It's just I've just been rooting for Uruguay for so long. Like that's the team
Well,
that
they're more relevant than our United States
right.
men's
And
national
the
team.
World Cup runs that they've had. I mean, in 2006, 2010, South Africa, Brazil, with Luis Suarez coming back from a knee injury, scoring 2 on England, his first game back. I mean, it's come a long way with them, and I've been just rooting for them. And my family. I mean,
Of course.
that's
of
also
course.
a big influence in that too.
Now, Damien, this is going to be, and I want to make sure I'm right on this. I'm on FOTMob right now. This matchup is going to draw eyes across the globe, writes Jeremy Smith of SI.com, because it isn't just a star-studded quality of both teams between Inter Miami and Vancouver, but one of the best player rivalries of a generation as Lionel Messi prepares to face off against Thomas Mueller for the 11th time in their respectable career. Forgot Mueller was on Vancouver.
Yeah, he joined late in the
Yeah.
season.
I'm like
You almost
sitting
forget.
here. I'm like, I had to like double check.
And his impact has been quiet. You know, we haven't seen
It
the
has.
goals and the assists, but he's had the impact on the field
But
for
like,
sure.
dude, I go back to the 2014 World Cup final, right?
Yeah.
When Germany dispatched Argentina.
And before that, absolutely obliterated Brazil.
Right. And then they played each other, you know, Mueller famously for Munich, Messi famously for Barcelona. I mean, dude, Thomas Mueller was just the class of Germany for how long? I mean, between his great play at Bayern and then on to the national team. I mean, Damien, this has a ton of juice as we gear up for an MLS Cup final. Not only Lionel Messi, obviously,
This is
folks.
probably the most electric MLS Cup final in the history of the MLS Cup final. I mean, if we can look at all the finals that there's been, I don't think there's ever been names like this in all 22.
Now, I'd have to look back at when one of my GOATs, David Beckham, I believe Beckham won it.
But that was on one side of the field. You know, we got on both sides of the field huge names, international players that have, like you said, played World Cups, won World Cups, and that's on both sides of the field, not just one.
You know I love David Beckham, so.
Yeah.
I did like Beckham.
Aura wasn't a thing back then, or at least it wasn't as popular, but that's a player that had immense aura.
Sadly,
Still does, honestly.
I don't want to say, like, Dame, I told you how I became a United fan, right? I saw an exhibition match in the States. My dad took me. It was pre-Ronaldo. It was like Giggsy.
Wayne Rooney.
Young Rooney, fresh off of Everton. Gary Neville.
Ferdinand was there.
Yeah, Ferdinand, Gary Neville. Roy Keane. Like, you know.
Paul Scholes.
Scholesy, early 2000s, right? Before Ronaldo. Ronaldo was still on Sporting. So, like, that's how far back I go. I don't remember Beckham. Sir Alex Ferguson already got rid of Beckham to Madrid. And remember, Beckham didn't want to go.
Did you know Diego Forlan was on Manchester United?
Yeah, I actually did know that.
He was there for like 1 or 2 games. It was a very short stint, but that's one of those random.
You want to know a random one, too, is Tevez.
Yeah.
Tevez.
He was there for a while, though.
Did he go to City, too?
Yeah, he played on both.
That's why, like, that never happens.
But back then, City wasn't what it is today. They were like the for sure little brothers. That kind of sparked the era. I think Tevez was like their first, and Robinho. Those two were the first like splash signings that Manchester City had back in the day.
Well, they still are little brother. They still are, as far as I'm concerned.
They had it for an era, honestly. But yeah, I mean, as of lately,
as far as I'm concerned. Let's get back though on track with our Lionel Messi-led Inter Miami Herons. Damien, a rematch of the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and you're telling me this is a different Inter Miami team.
Completely different. I mean, you can even look back as far as the last 3 games. I think the subtraction of Luis Suarez and the addition of Silvetti has absolutely changed everything for Inter Miami.
So this is the 3rd time in the history of the 2 clubs. It's just the 3rd time Inter Miami and Vancouver have clashed. But 2 of those games came in 2025 CONCACAF Champions Cup semifinal, 2-leg stretch with Vancouver won 5-1 on aggregate. I will say this. The one problem our Herons had this year, there was the Western Conference teams and the teams that like to run. Remember Minnesota United? God, that game was a
But it was always at Minnesota, at Vancouver, never at the Chase. I feel like Inter Miami always shows up at the Chase Stadium.
That final fixture was in Chase Stadium, and they still smoked us.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But 13-1. Inter Miami's outscoring teams the last 3 games.
But you know what? If they come in with that mentality, I think that's an advantage for Inter Miami. If they come in with that CONCACAF Champions final in mind, that's an advantage for Inter Miami.
And SA.com continues to write, the dominant performance from the Whitecaps came before Miami had their form and before the Whitecaps shifted from a 4-3-3 to a 4-2-3-1 to accommodate Thomas Mueller. And you have to. Mueller doesn't have legs.
So they can say
Mueller
the same.
doesn't have any legs.
They can say the same, that this is a completely different Vancouver team as well.
Yeah, I just...
And I have to correct myself. I mean, I said Thomas Mueller wasn't really making the splash that you would expect from him. In 11 games, 8 goals, 3 assists.
I mean, yeah. It's Mueller, bro.
It's
Mueller and playing in the States.
I did not realize he was doing that. I mean, I kind of figured.
It's a World Cup and Champions League champion.
That's kind of why I figured he was a lock. I mean, there was no doubt that Thomas Mueller would shine in the MLS.
Dame, I keep forgetting, too, that Vancouver completely fell on their face 5-0 against Cruz Azul.
Yeah.
I mean, and then Cruz Azul, I mean, you think there was... Listen, folks, I'm completely speculating here. I'm going to be factually incorrect. But, like, at the same time, you thought it may be collusion with how bad that they lost to Seattle in Leagues Cup. I mean, was it 7-0?
And Cruz Azul has an identity where they're similar to Penn State in the sense that they can never win the big game. They always get there, but they can never win the big game. And they were able to do it against Vancouver.
Poor Christian. His Nittany Lions getting smoke thrown their way on Pink Smoke. Who knew that Penn State was going to be getting the ringaroo from Damian Perez on Pink Smoke, a world football show? But regardless, Dame is onto something because they've always been known to not win the big one. Very James Franklin and Penn State-esque. But I digress. And then once again, I want to remind everybody too, Jordi Alba, Sergio Busquets, this is going to be their final game. I mean, as crazy that is, their final game. I mean, between Barcelona, Damien, I remember Jordi Alba at Villarreal. You know what
Valencia.
I mean? Valencia, not Villarreal. I apologize. Got my
Similar.
V squads mixed up in La Liga. Villarreal, I believe Pepe's playing there right now, former Arsenal guy. And, you know, Elias Bustamante knows a lot about Pepe. Regardless, I remember these guys before they were even anything, right? I remember Sergio Busquets is like third fixture for Barcelona ever, and people complaining about how bad he was in that pivot. Fast forward 15 years later, he's one of the best number 5s to ever do it. Him and Lionel Messi. What's your Damien Perez, by the way, famously Barcelona fan. God knows why. What's the youth academy name there
La
again?
Masia.
They came up together.
Yeah.
You know, that's
and Sergio Busquets actually got his opportunity at La Masia because his dad was on the coaching staff. So they were able to kind of see him play. But to your point, I mean, these players have not just played world football together. They've done their juvenile soccer together. They kind of grew up together. So imagine how surreal this must feel, not just for Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba, for Messi, because Messi was also young when he got to La Masia, so he could say he grew up with them as well.
It's like, that's back when La Masia couldn't miss either. I mean, they were pumping out players in that youth academy.
That whole Spain team in, when was it, 2010 that they won the World Cup? That was basically 80% Barcelona, La Masia.
Correct. And, I mean, the best midfield I've ever seen in my life.
Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets.
Best midfield, bar none.
And you had Xabi Alonso coming off the bench. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember if they fit them all together.
It's not for me. This is coming from a Siciliano. Big fan of the Italian side. That is the best midfield in world football history. It's not even close.
It's going to be hard to beat.
And that's one of the best Spain teams or rather, best world football teams of all time.
And it's crazy.
I don't know how many teams are beating that team.
Messi had an opportunity. Messi had an opportunity to be part of that team.
Right.
Imagine that.
Because he played.
He moved to Spain when he was 13 years old.
That too.
So
I'm sorry. My ignorance is showing on the subject. But
he could have easily took that route.
But he would never.
Never.
Argentina has always been his shtick.
I mean, and you could say he made the right decision.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, when Ronaldo wins the World Cup this year, we're gonna have a conversation. Dame, what was I gonna say? Like that Spain team, honest to God though. You match them up. I mean, even the great Brazil team that won in, is it Korea?
Yeah,
South Korea?
0-2.
That I always said, all right, before that team was a thing in 2011, South Africa.
Yeah, 2010.
2010 South Africa is when that team won. Before that, I was always like, no one will ever top that R9 Brazilian team. They had Ronaldinho. They had R9.
Adriano.
Robinho. Everybody.
Cafu, Roberto Carlos. I mean, that team was stacked.
Cafu. Like, come on. One of the best fullbacks of all time.
Do you remember Dida?
Yes.
The goalkeeper for AC Milan?
Yes. Yep. Dude, and that's back with Italian soccer. That was the league. Everyone played for Juve. Everyone played for AC Milan. Remember, Dino played for AC Milan, too. R9 famously, what? Juventus?
Inter.
Sorry.
Adriano played for. He played for both. Adriano, Inter and Juventus.
But like Dame, Italian soccer ruled.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we shifted a little bit to La Liga, and now it's Prem. I mean, you know,
as a whole, yes,
now it's Prem. I mean, for the primes of Messi and Ronaldo, you know, but granted, Manchester United was always a problem. Like the Prem had their teams.
To Americanize it, the Prem is the SEC. The Big Ten is La Liga. That's how I would put it.
I'd put it Big Ten Prem at but
you can't. I mean,
this is Big Ten Mike.
How are you going to do that?
This is Big Ten Mike here. All right,
the SEC is so stacked. So is the Prem.
So the Big Ten stacked. People just, you know, it's the SEC bias. You know,
the bottom tier of the Prem is way better than the bottom tier of La Liga.
I agree.
It's like that with the SEC and Big Ten.
But we learned during bowl season last year that those Big Ten teams are actually pretty good. You're going to learn that again. No, not I. You're probably right. But at the same time, for years, you know what I mean? You've seen the transition. It's always where the money's at, right? I mean, the Italian teams, they had all the money. That's why they were good. Yeah. La Liga, you know, Barcelona, you're bankrupt over there, brother. And this is rich coming from it.
Still owing money till this day.
This is rich coming from a United fan telling you that you're bankrupt. But somehow, some way, United always finds money.
They owe money for Rafinha, Olmo, all the recent signings that Barcelona
aren't they still paying Griezmann?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure they're probably still paying Griezmann.
Idea. I wouldn't put it past them.
I think they're still paying Antoine Griezmann and Ousmane Dembele, if I had to guess. Regardless, Prem is the league right now. And it's the league everybody's watching. It's the league everyone has a team in. You know, Damian is on the wrong side of things again on that side as a Liverpool fan.
It's been rough.
Dude, we
tied
are
again today, too.
We are like absolute opposites on all of our teams. Like in La Liga, I'm Madrid. In Prem, I'm United. Like we can't see eye to eye on these things, Damian Perez. But regardless, and the Prem, Dame, we're at the point where we got 2 games a week.
Yeah.
So teams that played today, there were fixtures in the Prem played today. They're playing Saturday. Fixtures tomorrow, United, better win. They're playing Sunday. So, like, you're at the busy part, and then no rest for the wary because the teams that are in Champions League, Damian, they're playing 4 games in 2 weeks.
This is where
Arsenal, a team like Arsenal is going to play in Europe on Wednesday, and then Saturday they're going to play in the league.
I mean, you saw it today. Chelsea went out there with a completely alternate lineup. They lost.
Unserious. They were I stole a saying from you and Elias Bustamante from Deportes. Unserious. They came out with an unserious lineup.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know what, like, because I feel like Chelsea's in a position where they can make a title for that run.
Nah, there's something about them, right? Dude, listen.
They've been doing it without Palmer, too.
Listen. I know it's hard because you and I both don't like Arsenal. It's their year.
Yeah, I mean,
it stinks.
Everything's lining up.
It's their year. They're unbelievable. They're injured. And they've won like 11 in a row.
Yeah.
They've been without Victor Gyökeres.
They signed Gyökeres. They signed Eze, who's been absolutely phenomenal.
Dude, Eze had a hat trick 2 games ago. And Gyökeres hasn't played in a month and a half.
And neither has Odegaard.
He stinks. He's done.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he fits into this.
And it's weird because he's a captain. You know what I mean? What, are you going to tell the captain to get the hell out?
Because even Rice, I feel like has kind of took a step up in the past 2 seasons.
Rice is my buddy Pat Darby. A huge Arsenal fan. Rice is the Rolls Royce in that midfield.
Who do you remove?
Dude, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Folks, I got to take a timeout. 888-760-3776. That number to call on in. This is Pink Smoke, where we talk everything world football, everything Lionel Messi, and everything Inter Miami. Inter Miami playing in a cup final coming up on Saturday, 2:30, Chase Stadium. Get your tickets now by going to intermiami.com. Taking a timeout. Coming right back. ESPN 106.3.
Not all moves reflect your lifestyle. At Safebound Luxury, we provide white glove services tailored for high-end homes, fine art, and designer furnishings. Our expert team ensures every piece is packed, transported, and placed with precision and care. If you're relocating a residence that deserves more than a basic move, schedule your private consultation today at safeboundluxury.com to experience the difference. This isn't just a move. This is the art of moving.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stressed life. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Football season is here, and the ultimate game day headquarters is Twin Peaks. Whether it's college Saturdays or NFL Sundays, catch every kickoff, every touchdown, every Hail Mary right here at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. From scratch-made favorites to ice-cold 29-degree draft beers, Twin Peaks is delivering all the winning plays. Looking for a stronger lineup? No one does game day like Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks, come for the game, stay for the experience.
Years of hard work have led to this day. It's National Signing Day, driven by South Florida Ford on ESPN 106.3. Top football talent from around Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast pick their college homes. Tune in as our local stars continue on their football journey. National Signing Day is presented by South Florida Ford, HSS Florida, Kaiser University, Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, Racetrack, and the Orange Bowl.
During football season, keep your home in the win column with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the field, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS is the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSIsyes.com today, kick off your game day comfort, and don't sweat the small stuff. Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Years of hard work have led to this day. It's National Signing Day, driven by South Florida Ford on ESPN 106.3. Top football talent from around Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast pick their college homes. Tune in as our local stars continue on their football journey. National Signing Day is presented by South Florida Ford, HSS Florida, Kaiser University, Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, Racetrack, and the Orange Bowl.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wine, spirits, beers, all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and more. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Priced so amazingly low.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is Pink Smoke, brought to you by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Welcome on back to Pink Smoke, where we talk everything Lionel Messi and everything Inter Miami. Inter Miami playing for a Cup final trophy, silverware on the line this Saturday, 2:30. Time, 2:30. Site, Chase Stadium. At stake, the first ever MLS trophy to be in Inter Miami's trophy case. Lionel Messi has 6 goals in 5 matches. Tadeo Allende has 8 goals in 5 matches. A hat trick for Tadeo Allende in the most recent fixture in the Eastern Conference Finals against NYCFC. Inter Miami is in form, outscoring their opponents 13-1 in their last 3 fixtures. Let's hope that continues as our Herons are hopefully hoisting.
Quickly, Mike.
Yeah.
Before we get into the injury report.
Yep.
Is Vancouver ready for 84 and sunny? Because 2:30, I mean, that game could have been played at 7.
Here's what's interesting about Vancouver. Dude, you know they've won that Canadian Cup for like 3 years now? Like that, because, you know, we... In the United States, it's what? The U.S. Hunts Open Cup? Yep. I forget what it is. Excuse me, folks. But in Canada, they have the Canadian Cup. Vancouver's won that. They're trying
that went under the radar this year.
I think like they're trying. I think the double. It would have been the treble if they won the CONCACAF Gold Cup. But obviously they lost to Cruz Azul. But it's funny. Sorry, I can't help but to laugh. Those guys can't wait to play in 80-degree weather. So I don't think that's
because they play in a dome. Dude, so I mean, they don't face the elements
now, listen,
of Vancouver.
You want to know why I'm happy? Inter Miami.
And it's synthetic too.
That's what I was about to say. All right, Messi don't do that synthetic crap.
Right.
All right.
Imagine if we had to go over there.
He likes the real stuff. If you know what I'm saying. No. Yeah, but like, you know, they do grass. The South Americans, they don't do turf. They look at turf. What the hell is this? You know, I played on turf at Byers Field. All right, stuff was concrete.
Horrible.
Concrete.
It's the worst.
Dude, it wasn't even turf. It was concrete. My friggin' knees are still hurting from getting on the floor, on the rug at that place. But, Damien, let's do the injury report presented by our good friends at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath.
Now it's time for the Inter Miami Injury Report, presented by Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath.
And now a fight for it, won right back by Inter Miami.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, representing injured people and their families for more than 35 years. Visit foryourrights.com.
Folks, that's Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, serving injured people and their families for 35 years. Visit foryourrights.com. It is foryourrights.com. They sponsor our injury report with our Inter Miami Herons. Damien, you have some big news on the Ian Frey side of
Ian
things.
Frey trained 100% normal with the group. He's ready for 90 minutes, and that's a big one. He had a knock against, I don't remember who it was, but it was with Jamaica. So he came back from international duty with a knock. He missed one of the games and didn't start the second. So good to have him back ready to go and play 90.
Ian Frey has been a household starter on that right fullback position. Obviously, Jordi Alba, folks, has made a living being a left back for the last 2 decades in world football, and that's a position he plays for our Herons. But on the right side of things, it's been Ian Frey and Marcelo Wagon splitting time all season long. Early on in the season, Wagon was the favorite for Coach Mascherano. And then, Damien, I would say at about for 60% of the season, it's been Ian Frey.
We were asking for it right away.
Side. I mean, yeah. I mean, dude, the problem is Gold Cup. CONCACAF Gold Cup. You, myself, and Elias Bustamante over at 760 AM Deportes, we all looked at each other and said, this kid's got to play. All right, he's faster than Wagon. He gets up forward more than Wagon. He's more clinical than Wagon.
He's more comfortable in attack, too.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just clear. And listen, that's with all due respect to Cello. I know the team loves him. The players love him. But Ian Frey, the better player.
This is more credit to Ian Frey, too.
Yeah, it is.
Than anything.
He's an Inter Miami draft pick, too.
Yeah.
So, like, I do you think he starts? I think he has to.
Absolutely.
I think he starts.
Absolutely.
Even though Cello, give him credit. 2 games that he played.
Yeah, he played great. He did play great in those 2 games. But I think that's the clear-cut choice for Mascherano when he's looking at his lineup. And we're looking at all of our guys. It's Ian Frey over Cello.
Yeah, but Ian Frey is back. The 2 guys that aren't back, Ryan Saylor and Davi Ruiz, they are going to miss the MLS Cup final. And then there are 4 players on the side of Vancouver who aren't going to be playing. You got Bilal Halabuni, Daniel Rios, Ranko Vasilinovic, and Sam Udadakuba. So those are the 4 players that aren't going to be playing. They aren't expected back either until 2026. So 4 guys not going to be available for Vancouver. But the good news for Vancouver, I don't want to say bad news for Inter Miami. You never root for injury. But Vancouver, Berhalter is still a fantastic player. Mueller, Damien up top. They got Brian White, who's been having a great year.
Start to the season, too.
I mean, a surprise team is the wrong word because they've been solid in Canada for years. You know what I mean? In that Canadian Cup. But this truly is the breakout year that they've been having within the MLS. And I just think there's no way Inter Miami loses this game.
Yeah.
And I know we're not quite there yet, folks. We're going to go around the MLS and talk more about this game coming up next. I don't see dude, Damien, talk about in form. You know what I mean? Like I'll never forget, like, I'm watching, Damien, it had to be like Sky Sport 2007. And I heard the word in form for the first time. And I looked at my dad, who does sports up in Cleveland, has been doing sports for 40 years, broadcasting. I go, Dad, what does in form mean? And even my dad was like, what? You know what I mean? Because my dad wasn't necessarily world football guy growing up. I played it, hence he took me to games. But, like, we looked it up, and the guy's on fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For
it's
better
a very
terms.
important term.
He's on fire, but it's an important term in world football. This is the most informed team, dare I say, I've seen in all of 2025.
Yeah,
and at all levels, all world football levels. I mean, I guess Champions League, PSG was out of this world. Fair play.
But they ended up losing.
PSG won Champions League.
Yes, they won. Sorry. I was thinking the World Cup.
It's okay.
The FIFA World Cup.
Yeah,
they
FIFA
were
Club
also
World
on
Cup.
fire.
They were.
And they lost the final to Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea. But, Dame, 13-1, outscoring opponents in 3 games speaks for itself. Folks, let's take our final time out of the program. When we come back, we'll go around the MLS presented by our great friends at Audi. You are listening to Pink Smoke on ESPN 106.3.
Calling morning, all sports fans. Grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Years of hard work have led to this day. It's National Signing Day, driven by South Florida Ford on ESPN 106.3. Top football talent from around Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast pick their college homes. Tune in as our local stars continue on their football journey. National Signing Day is presented by South Florida Ford, HSS Florida, Kaiser University, Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, Racetrack, and the Orange Bowl.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wine, spirits, beers, all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and more. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Priced so amazingly low.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Every family has dreams, a vacation, a new car, or a rainy day fund. With a Boost savings account from Flagler Credit Union, your dreams can become reality. Earn up to 3.0 annual percentage yield with no minimum balance, no monthly fees, and easy access to your funds. Whether you're saving for life's big moments or everyday expenses, a Boost savings account helps you reach your goals faster. Open a Boost savings account today and start boosting your future at Flagler Credit Union. Boost checking is required. Other qualifications apply. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Snowbirds, welcome back. Time to trade your coats and hats for swim trunks and sunscreen. And get your home ready for company. Before the family arrives, make sure your home's water is in top shape. Hard water and hidden minerals can leave spots on dishes, dull your laundry, and dry out your skin. Not exactly festive. Schedule your free water test today before the holiday rush. Culligan will make sure your water is as clear and welcoming as that ocean view. Visit Culligan.com or just say,
Hey, Culligan!
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Years of hard work have led to this day. It's National Signing Day, driven by South Florida Ford on ESPN 106.3. Top football talent from around Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast pick their college homes. Tune in as our local stars continue on their football journey. National Signing Day is presented by South Florida Ford, HSS Florida, Kaiser University, Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, Racetrack, and the Orange Bowl.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
This is Pink Smoke, brought to you by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Welcome on back, folks, to Pink Smoke, our final segment, 888-760-3776. That number to call on in. We are live in the City Place Studios, downtown West Palm Beach. And folks, Pink Smoke, the show where we talk everything Lionel Messi, everything Inter Miami. And our Inter Miami Herons are going to be in a cup final coming up this Saturday, 2:30 kickoff. I will be live at 2 o'clock on the stream. So here's what I want you to do, folks. You're going to download that ESPN South Florida app because that is your one-stop shop to listen to everything ESPN 106.3. Kaiser football will be playing on 106.3. You could also listen to Kaiser on the app. But to listen to Inter Miami this weekend, what I want you to do, you're going to go to your Apple App Store, Google Play Store, type in ESPN South Florida. The app is free, and that's how you're going to be able to listen to myself do the pre, halftime, and post, and Ken LaVicka, voice of the Inter Miami Herons, doing the play-by-play. But it is time to go around the MLS presented by our good friends at Audi. Folks, test drive that brand new A5. And folks, that A5 is sweet. If you looked at it, if you're not driving, listen, folks, if you're pulled over, you're in a parking lot waiting for the kids, whatever, what I want you to do, Google that brand new A5. That Audi A5 has some serious power, some serious acceleration, and it's a car that makes a statement. Make a statement when you pull in that lot into South Florida, beautiful Chase Stadium with the brand new A5. Damien, there's not much to go around the MLS because this is the last game, brother.
This is around the MLS right here.
This is it.
The season culminates this Saturday, 2:30 at Chase Stadium.
This is it. You know, Inter Miami, the job done so far, right? It's time to finish the job coming up on Saturday. Dame, your best guess, final score, Inter Miami versus Vancouver.
Honestly, I'm very confident for this game. I don't want to be overly confident, but I'm very confident. I think Inter Miami is in the best version of Inter Miami since this Messi era. I think we actually beat the hardest team in the playoffs in Cincinnati when we had to go up to Cincinnati, and we handled them well 4-0. So I could see a 3-1. I could see a 3-1 in the Chase Stadium. Inter Miami wins that game.
We said, Damien, trying to think. So November 23rd was when Inter Miami beat Cincinnati 4-0 in Cincy. 3 days before? Yeah, that was a Saturday. Yep. So November the 20th on this program, I looked at you, and we both said if Inter Miami beats FC Cincinnati, they will be MLS Cup winners. Here we are.
That was also the week that LAFC went down.
Yep.
So
Heung-min Son, who is unbelievable for that club.
Was, if it wasn't Cincinnati, I thought that was the hardest team, LAFC, on the west side. So to see them go down that week was also huge for Inter Miami.
And a big thing was home field.
Yeah.
Who had home field over
Philly.
us? Yeah. But I think someone did on the west side, too.
No, actually nobody did, unless it was San Diego.
Might have been San Diego. Regardless, Inter Miami, I think they're going to win. Damien, 4-0, 3-0.
You see another 4-0. Yeah,
what the hell? That's what they're doing right now.
Just to keep the trend going.
Dude, the
absolutely.
lineup, I want to make sure I have this right. Ken brought it up during the broadcast, and he was, dead bolts right about it. All right. The lineup of Alba, Allen, Falcone, Weigant on the back line. Rodriguez, Busquets, DePaul in the midfield. Silvetti, Messi, and Allende. Dude, that lineup has scored 13. That is the lineup that has outscored the last three teams.
And you know what the best part about it? Messi isn't the top scorer in that group in this run.
It's Allende.
Yeah. And that's not to discredit Messi because he's still been the best player on the field.
What do you do if you're Inter Miami with Allende because he's a lone player?
You stay in the Flames. Oh, like for next season?
Yeah. I know I'm looking ahead, but
that's going to be a tough one. That's going to be a tough one because there are strong reports that River Plate really wants his services. That's going to be a tough team.
Is that right? Out of Argentina?
Yep. That is.
He'd go home.
Well, how are you going to say no if you're Tadeo Allende? I mean, you're from Argentina. You're that's your squad from
Celta Vigo. So it'd be a loan. They wouldn't buy him.
They probably would.
You think so?
They probably would. Yeah. Those teams have money. Those Brazilian top flight teams. As well as the
would Allende make the money he makes in Argentina that he's making with Inter Miami?
And at the end of the day, you get to play with Messi because he's going to be around for 2 more seasons. And
Damian, I think Allende could play in La Liga, no?
It would be
It'd be a big jump, but
it would come down to how much Inter Miami is willing to pay. Because I don't think at the end of the day you have to convince Celta Vigo of a price, you know?
Yeah.
As much as the player wants to come to Inter Miami, he can push, but at the end of the day, he's got to be bought.
I want to see his dollar worth. You know, FotMob tells you all
Probably
this
around
stuff.
20, I would say, if I had to guess.
FotMob tells you all this stuff. Well, his market says 2.5. That's
that's crazy. That's blasphemy.
maybe before the season it was
that's
2.5. That was his price in.
He's 25, 26. You know, he's not even at his peak
26.
yet.
He's 26. Yeah. And how about this? Another young Argentinian, Silvetti, 19. And then Baltasar Rodriguez, 22. The Argentinian movement for
Inter Miami has a nucleus. I mean, it's and the challenge for Inter Miami that's going to be is keeping all these players here because these players are going to generate insane interest from European teams.
I also think too replacing Alba and Busquets.
Yeah,
they've been a household name for 3.5 years.
Which it's
they've been a set and forget for 3.5 years.
It's almost impossible to replace them.
A set and forget for 3.5 years. I think is what they've been. Folks, we've ran out of time here on Pink Smoke. Once again, you're listening to Pink Smoke, where we talk everything Lionel Messi, everything Inter Miami. We'll talk to you, I believe, coming up next week. This could be one of our last shows of 2025 with the season coming to an end. But regardless, listen, this is a show I thoroughly enjoy. I love me some world football. Dame loves him some world football as well. You can hear in our voices we love talking world football with you guys.
Coming up too, so
yeah, I'm looking for and hopefully
planned.
I can't talk about anything yet there, but I am hoping to be doing World Cup content for you guys here on ESPN 1063. We'll catch up with you guys on the next time. You can listen to the alternative stream on the English side, 760 AM Deportes on the Spanish side. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Years of hard work have led to this day. It's National Signing Day, driven by South Florida.